So was that something even dating back to your UConn days where maybe you walk in and you see a quote-unquote 5-star or quote-unquote McDonald's All-American, but maybe you're watching him go through layup lines or you're watching him in practice, when he thinks that nobody's paying attention, and you just said, this kid doesn't want it or this kid doesn't have it? Because, I do find as I cover more and more college basketball, without picking on anyone specifically, there are some programs, some teams, some coaches, and I think it's the natural inclination. A kid is ranked highly or somebody else thinks something of him, and you offer him a scholarship or you try to bring him into your program based on what somebody else thinks. And, talking to people that I know in the business, that's one of the biggest mistakes coaches make is they're too worried about what everybody else thinks of a guy rather than what their own eyes see, kind of what you said, beyond your nose.
I don't think there's any question about that. This young kid I saw when he was a sophomore, he's quick as a cat, little, about 5'8" at the time. He got cut in his freshman year, a kid named Kemba Walker. Cut his freshman year at Rice High School. He eventually became a very good player his senior year, but people weren't quite sure because of his size. Did he try to score too much? I don't know. He could really play. And no one ever told me he could score too much. I think it's a good idea to score a lot. So you combine that with his personality, his leadership. He eventually, grew to be almost 6 feet. Powerful, great kid, undersized, and now an all-star, and obviously a great player for us at UConn, and obviously now in the NBA. And I think that, once again, I'm not a guy that, how tall you are, what you weigh doesn't really ever factor in me. How hard you play, how good you want to be, how willing you are to work. Do you let me coach you? I mean, are those desires all with you? And will you not say you want to be good, but do the things that make you good? That's what I really want to see in a kid. When I see that, that's the kind of player I want to have.
So how can you evaluate that? Because that's fascinating to me, because every kid says, no, coach, I'm willing to put in the extra work. I'm ready to do whatever you need me to do. I'm ready to run through a wall. And this is, again, no disrespect to any specific kid, but there's some kids that talk the talk, and then either they aren't willing to do it, or they don't realize what hard work actually is. I mean, how can you identify that? What you just said is so fascinating about a kid that is not only can put in the work, but willing to put in all that extra work.
Well, I remember a kid named Ben Gordon.
Sure.
We actually had a lot of conversations. So I got a call after Ben was only a 6'2" guy, which a lot of people didn't think he'd be a great 2 guy. He played 12 years in the league, averaged 17 points a game. 6th man of the year in the league. Well, anyways, so he's coming up his senior year, and I liked him. Good student, good kid, worked hard. I get a great phone call, which sounded like a bad call, from his high school coach somewhere the next 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning that Ben had been arrested by the police.
Ooh.
What? Yeah, he had snuck into the gym at Mount Vernon at 12 at night shooting. That was like music to my ears.
Yeah.
I said, that's the kind of kid I need. I still remember that phone call. And obviously he became a great player first, number 3 guy taken the draft, had a great pro career. And my point being is that I talk to coaches. I watch a kid in practice. I talk to people who play against them. Those are really, really important things. And I think that, as I said, don't tell me how much he weighs. Don't tell me how tall he is. What can he do? And what does he want to do? What is he capable of doing? Or more importantly, you hit it right. What is he willing to do? Because everybody thinks they work hard. Not everybody works hard. It's just that simple. And I just think that's really, I remember I get a pretty good guy who dunked the ball all over the place. And I saw him get 62 points against the famous Riverside Church back in the day. He was playing for a team out of Virginia, a kid named Ray Allen. He was a dunker then, a great jumper. He got to college, and the same athletic ability, same pride in everything he did, be it academically, the way he dressed, the way he could carry himself. He was more than willing to become obsessive, become one of the great shooters of all time. And I just think, but you see signs of those kind of players by talking to other people, by watching the kid yourself, by truly, don't tell me what you do, show me what you do.
You mentioned Caron Butler. I could be mistaken on this, but I believe that you were a groomsman in his wedding. Is that correct?
I wasn't a groomsman. I was a honoree by the fact I helped walk him down in place his dad wasn't there. Special guy. My relationship with my players, a lot of them, I come along at a time in their life where they really, really maybe need another male adult figure in their life, or they have their family obviously. And so I played that role in Toronto as a kid who really had a tough youth and turned out to be one of the great people, not just basketball players. I've met a tremendous player, and now he's doing a great job on NBA TV and ESPN.
Take a couple quick questions to let you go here. You gave these great stories about Kemba Walker, Ben Gordon. If you don't mind, I would love to kind of throw out a few names and just either the first thing that comes to mind or a funny story about them, because I think fans really enjoy that stuff. The first one that I would ask, he was there when I was at UConn many years ago, but not that many years ago, but Rudy Gay. What do you remember about being around him, coaching him?
Incredible athlete. Obviously now into his 12th year, 11th year of the NBA. Incredible talent, and most importantly, one of the best people I've ever met. Rudy Gay, when they had a time for me 5-6 years ago, took a plane down. He was playing for Toronto at the time. Had to wait 4 hours from Toronto, came back, stayed there that night just to be down there. That's who Rudy Gay is. Rudy Gay is one of the best people I've ever met. I used to kid him. He's too good a guy to be an all-star. He was not a ruthless guy. Go on, play with him, said, without question, one of the best people he's ever met. And a really talented guy. I love Rudy Gay.
What about Shabazz Napier? He's somebody I've been trying to connect with here over these last couple months to talk with him. You only had him, I believe, for 1, maybe 2 seasons, but what do you remember about working with him?
Well, Shabazz is just an incredible kid, He's a tough kid at times because he's so fiery. I'll tell you the great thing I could say about him, there's no way he should make the NBA. I think he's now heading into his 6th year, and I stay in touch with him. But no one's ever pushed themselves properly to the degree he had to make himself an NBA player. He should be credited from getting his degree to the fact that he's undersized, underweight, but never underhigh. He's one of the toughest competitors and made himself an NBA player. Real proud of him.
So real quick, he sounds like the kind of guy we were talking about a minute ago where you saw something in him before everybody else did that allowed you to offer him a scholarship and want him involved in your program. What do you remember seeing in him? Because like you said, he's not a guy that would have jumped out the first time you walked in the gym as a Big East caliber player, national championship, All-American caliber player.
Yeah, I saw him down in Disney World where they had a big tournament every summer, AU, and walked by and someone said, they don't know what he is. He's the opponent, he's a scorer. I looked at him after about 10 minutes and said, no, he's a player.
Yeah.
That's where he took a play. No number on him, just the fact he became a great player for us.
Very good. You mentioned Ray Allen. I mean, I think the thing that people forget about him from his time with you and his early NBA days, what a great athlete he was. I mean, everybody remembers him with Miami Heat, three-point shooting, Boston Celtics. I remember as being a great athlete, but what do you remember having him around?
Well, Ray was a guy who was a great athlete, smart. No one in my career has ever specialized shooting the way he did when he took it on. He and God rest his soul, the late Kobe Bryant, used to argue who worked the hardest, which is an incredible compliment to Ray, obviously. And he and Kobe used to go at it about who was working the hardest. But I can tell you what, Ray Allen, because I saw it personally, no one ever was obsessed about being great as he was and turned him into a great player.